Guess who's back on the news? We haven't seen him in a while. We miss him. We haven't seen him since 2023 when the movie Sound of Freedom came out and he was promoting it, speaking out against Hollywood and what's going on with traffic and what's going on as a whole. We got to be careful with the language because I've gotten a strike for speaking about this before, but the man who has exposed Hollywood on many occasions is finally back and he's speaking about the election. They caught up with him. TMZ caught up with him and they asked him a very important question about this election. And boy, oh boy, is the media going crazy. Our fans running wild over a 53-second clip of Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson is back. Last time we saw him once again was during the Sound of Freedom, the movie that he was promoting, right? And we know that he's working on various projects to expose Hollywood, and Hollywood's already getting exposed, right? We saw what happened with Diddy. We've seen what happened with Harvey Weinstein. We've seen what's happened overall, and there's a lot of truth to come out. So I love this because I think this is a huge step in that direction that I think Mel Gibson wants to go into. Make sure to smash the like button. Let's get 1,000 likes right away. Let's get everything involved. Let's get everything going on. Thank you to the people that have been joining the channel. We are so close to the election. We also got to talk about New York. Trump coming to Madison Square Garden. I'm going to be there. And if you're going to be there, please meet me in Madison Square Garden. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about that. And furthermore, let's actually go to the clip that everybody came here for of Mel Gibson dropping a bomb on Kamala Harris. Take a listen.
The president is being voted on in days. What's your thoughts?
Oh, man, that's a big question.
What's up?
I don't think it's going to surprise anyone who I vote for.
Well, so I mean, I'm gonna guess. We go in. Yeah. I'm gonna guess Trump. Is that a bad guess?
I think it's a pretty good guess.
Well, what do you think the world will be like in a second term with the President Trump's second term? A lot of people.
I know what it'll be like if we let her in.
Yeah. Oh, really?
And that ain't good.
Yeah. Well, listen.
I know what it would be like if we let her be president, but oh boy, it ain't good.
Let her in.
Yeah. Oh, really? Trump's second term. A lot of people.
I know what it'll be like if we let her in.
Yeah. Oh, really?
And that ain't good.
Yeah. Well, listen.
Miserable track record. Appalling track record. No policies to speak of.
Yeah. And the border, right?
And she's got the IQ of a fence post.
Wow, she got the IQ of a fence post. That's what he just told. That's what he just told TMZ. And somebody in the comments said, well, he's right about the IQ because, and then they put this.
Some voters, though, might ask, you've been in the White House for 4 years. You were vice president, not the president. But why wasn't any of that done for the last 4 years?
Well, there was a lot that was done, but there's more to do, Anderson. And I'm pointing out things that need to be done, that haven't been done, but need to be done.
Oh, my God. I think Mel Gibson is right. She's got the IQ of a fence post. And he's voting for Donald Trump. We already know who he's voting for. He wants people to vote for. So Mel Gibson is back, man. I'm very happy. I don't know if you guys are a fan of Mel Gibson, man, but this guy is something else. I'm so happy he's back on the news and dropping bombs on Kamala Harris. I told you guys about New York. Kathy Hoku, the governor of New York. Listen to Trump supporters in New York. So I told you guys, Trump support. As you can see, everybody around Kathy Hoku right now has Harris Walsh shirts. Take a listen as Trump supporters take over her rally. Take a listen.
And I know that New York State will do the right thing and put Kamala Harris and Tim Walz over the top because we have that power. We must exercise
2024! Trump 2024! You a shit governor! You a shit governor! You a shit governor! You shit governor! Shit governor!
I gotta watch it, right? Listen. I don't need to convince you to vote for Kamala Harris. She's willing to.
You have the right to be here. So do I. All I'm saying is you right then don't get in my face. You a shit governor! You a shit governor!
I think New York is ready to become red. I think New York is ready for Donald Trump at Madison Square Garden. I think New York City is ready for it. I really do.
President, I was just campaigning with her in Michigan just a few days ago.
You're a shit governor. You're a shit governor. I'm a native New Yorker. You fucking up New York. We say Trump 2024. Trump 2024. Trump 2024. That's what we say. Make me. Make me. Make me. Make me. Get violent. Yeah, get violent. You socialist. You socialist. You hate this country. You hate this city. We call out your bullshit. We call out your bullshit. You gotta get that out of my face. You gotta get that out of my face. You gotta get it in my face, brother. You don't want me to act out. You get that shit out.
New Yorkers are not happy. It's crazy watching New Yorkers fight other New Yorkers, and like a person like her, she's in New York. Oh, somebody gifted 5 subs. Thank you for the 5 subs. I appreciate that. But imagine fighting your fellow New Yorkers because you believe that the people that your fellow New Yorker keeps voting for keeps messing up the city. But yet this fellow New Yorker with the Harris wall signs, she wants New York to stay the same. She don't care. She just hates Donald Trump. Ladies and gentlemen, I got a bombshell video right here about the crowd. Gutfeld. Anybody know Gutfeld? Take a listen.
So last night, Kamala held a town hall, and it had all the spontaneity of synchronized swimming. I wonder, would the audience be able to ask questions?
Are we going to be able to answer questions?
You're not, unfortunately. We have some determined questions, and I hope.
Oh my God, that's it. That's when Mel Gibson that says she got the IQ of a fence post. This is what he's talking about. An audience member at a Kamala town hall says, "Hey, can we ask any questions?" And then she says,
I wonder, would the audience be able to ask questions?
Are we going to be able to answer questions?
You're not, unfortunately. We have some determined questions, and hopefully I'll be able to ask some of the questions that might be in your head. I hope so.
Yeah. Sorry, Toots. Sorry, Toots. You're just a prop. And come on, we didn't even give you a primary, and you think we're going to let you ask unscripted questions? Hell, Kamala can't even answer scripted questions. We give her a week in advance. So right off the bat, we got the lay of the land. Another manicured platform for Kamala to blurt out her now legendary word salads. I mean, this broad ought to come to every event with a side of ranch and a bag of croutons. Still, these things cannot be overlooked.
These things cannot be overlooked. And I have said many times publicly, and I'll say it again, in many, many ways, Donald Trump is an unserious man.
Yeah, an unserious man. How rich, coming from the candidate who is half Indian, half hyena. But it's Trump who's the unserious person. You know, the guy that built half the NYC skyline has already been president quite successfully, I might add. The guy who raised a beautiful, successful family that anybody would be proud of. A man who has literally taken a bullet for a job he didn't even need. A man who our adversaries admit they respect and even fear. Yeah, he's the unserious one, you dizzy dumbass. And look at Liz Cheney sitting there. She looks thrilled. It's like she's thinking, I quit my political party and all I got was this lousy wino. But look, I watched the town hall for only one reason, hoping to hear one more time about the nature of a democracy where I think there's a duality.
The nature of a democracy is such that I think there's a duality. On the one hand, there's an incredible strength when our democracy is intact. An incredible strength in what it does to protect the freedoms and rights of its people. Oh, there's great strength in that. And it is very fragile. It is only as strong as our willingness to fight for it.
Oh, I never get tired of hearing that. And she never gets tired of saying it.
You know, I think that there's a duality to the nature of democracy. When it's intact, oh, it's so strong in its nature. And it's very fragile. There's a duality to the nature of democracy. On the one hand, incredible strength when it is intact, incredibly strong, and incredibly fragile. The nature of democracy, there's a duality.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I think there was a video. Thank you. If you guys are becoming members of the LV Nation, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to make sure I do some special stuff for the people joining the memberships. But there was a video, if I'm not mistaken, that we got from George. He posted it, and it was kind of disturbing, if I'm being honest. But this is from Kamala's speeches, right? And she was plagiarizing from her own speeches. Take a listen to this. It sounds disturbing, but just listen to it.
Should never ever stand behind
It's like a robot. We are watching the first manufactured robot candidate. The Tesla bot, you guys know about that? The Tesla robot. I think we're watching the first one because it's literally the same thing over and over and over. It's kind of crazy that some people would just, yeah, no, I'm voting for this. This is what we need.
On the one hand, it's very strong. When a democracy is intact, it is also very fragile.
Look, Kamala, if you're going to recycle old crap, at least dress it up a bit. Tyrus's idea is always bongos.
The nature of a democracy is such that I think there's a duality. On the one hand, there's an incredible strength when our democracy is intact. An incredible strength in what it does to protect the freedoms and rights of its people. Oh, there's great strength in that. And it is very fragile. It is only as strong as our willingness to fight for it.
Yep. Now, to most people, she sounds stupid. But is she really? Jim Garrity at National Review suggests maybe she isn't. He says the caricature of Kamala Harris as a bumbling dunce makes it easy to underestimate her. It's kind of like how you root for Jesse Waters despite his glaring incompetence. I mean, look at that. Jim also claims that her skill is really getting Democrats emotionally invested in her. It certainly worked with Willie Brown. But that's more than a joke. It's a fact that getting Dems emotionally invested in her means she gets others to do the work she won't do, whether it's Willie Brown or willing Brown voters. See what I did there? I know. But I get what Jim's saying. Don't just say, wow, she's just a dummy, because even if you're right, no one's going to hear it. People do the same thing with Trump. They overlook his actual deeds and focus on his words. Take the latest. Trump calling Democrat leaders the enemy from within.
Congressman, do you consider Adam Schiff and Nancy Pelosi to be the enemy from within?
Trump doubled down on his Hitler talking points about the enemy from within.
Donald Trump repeatedly referred to prominent Democrats and others on the left in the United States, American citizens, as, quote, the enemy from within, unquote.
Donald Trump has been given opportunity after opportunity to either downplay or clarify his comments about what he called the enemy from within.
A major party candidate, calling his political opponents, quote, the enemy within.
All that douchebag outrage. Even though Democrats not only said the same thing about enemies within, but they actually acted on it. Remember when these a-holes claimed there was extremism within our military? It was big news until the threat was debunked, then the story went away. Or what about the scourge of white privilege and systemic racism that labeled the majority of people, again, within the country as oppressors and in need of serious re-education that gave us a divided country, DEI, and a ton of terrible Disney movies? And don't ever forget what they did to anyone during the pandemic who dared to question their BS policies and their lies. So save your outrage. Trump calling Pelosi and Schiff the enemy within is peanuts compared to calling tens of millions of Americans the enemy from within. Hell, you even jailed a bunch of them while letting actual enemies from within, murderers, arsonists, and rapists, go free, which created a new demand on the American public. We now must be diligent all the time. When we're on the streets, on public transportation, about what our kids are being taught in school, who's in our restrooms, who's coming into the country. It's a lot of pressure on us, and we're ready to blow. So that's why the town hall had to be orchestrated. You can't have ordinary people asking a phony candidate questions about the last 4 years. It had to be stage managed, just like it was the last 4 years. Because if you knew the truth, then you'd see the enemy within in all its glory, and you toss it out on its lying ass.
Damn, Gutfeld went off. Gutfeld went off. I love that man. Got to be a part of the show one day. I'd love to be a part of Gutfeld. Real quick, we got JD Vance is currently doing a town hall hosted by Chris Cuomo. What can go wrong there? And Trump surprised them with a phone call to ask a question. Now, before we get off, smash the like button. If you became a member of the LV Nation, thank you. If you donated, thank you so much. Let's go out with a bang. Let's see what this is about.
Senator, you're going to want to sit down for this one.
Oh, no.
Not unlike Beetlejuice. If you invoke the former president's names too many times in a row, he's going to want to weigh in on what is being said about him. And we have a call right now from former President Donald John Trump. He wants to weigh in. Mr. President, I know there's a little bit of a delay. Can you hear us? And what is your question for the senator?
Well, I can hear you, Chris, and I do have a question, and I think it'll be quite an interesting one. The answer should be easy. How brilliant is Donald J. Trump?
Take your time. Think about it.
Well, first of all, sir, this is supposed to be undecided voters. I would hope that I have your vote, of all people. But here's first of all, sir, of course, you're very brilliant, and we both agree. We both agree that it's important to have very smart people running our government. But here's the thing about President Trump, that aside of you, sir, if you'll forgive me for telling this story, that I think often people don't see. And of course, I got my beautiful wife here in the front row. And one of my favorite moments with President Trump is we were hosting an event for him near our home in Cincinnati a few months ago. And of course, my wife was a little bit nervous to really, talk to the president of the United States. And he asked her, what do you think about your husband being in public service? And she gives, if you know my wife, a very diplomatic answer. Sir, he really cares about the people of Ohio. He's thrilled to be able to serve them, and I'm happy to support him however I can. And President Trump chuckles and goes, yeah, my wife hates it too. and the thing that it did is it just immediately broke the barrier. And it wasn't the former president. It was just a person talking to my wife. And I think you guys were able to have a nice conversation. But that ability to relate to anybody in any environment, I think that's the true brilliance of Donald J. Trump.
Now that was a cool moment, genuine moment, and not fabricated or manufactured. That was dope. That was dope. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a lot of exciting things happening on this channel. We got a lot of exciting things. We're going to be hitting the streets. Trump coming at Madison Square Garden. I will be there. If you're going to be there, please message me directly. I would love to meet all of you guys for that. We're going to be on Fox and Friends that morning, prepping for it. And then we are going to be on RSBN as well, prepping for it as well. And then the next day, we're going to be on Fox Business talking about it. So we got a lot of big things happening on this channel. Because of your support, I'm able to do those blessed things. And yeah, man, we're going to put this man back in the White House, and we're going to see if we're right. I'm pretty sure we're going to be right about bringing Trump back to become the 47th president of the United States of America. If you guys have any further comments down below, comment them. Love that you guys are subscribing to this channel. We got a lot more to talk about after the election. That's when the most exciting things happen. After the election, the reaction from the Democrats, we're going to be hitting the streets for all that stuff. So hope you guys enjoyed Mel Gibson at the very beginning of this video. Hope you guys enjoyed JD Vance, Chris Cuomo, and Donald Trump's surprise call. Appreciate you guys. Can't wait to see you guys again. See you guys on the next one.